UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira takes place this weekend. And before you comment, hey, you look like a D-bag wearing glasses inside, it's because I have a sty, okay? In my eye, I look like Quasimodo. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you're new around here, subscribe. Let's get right into the predictions. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire card. I just want to talk about fights I'm excited about. And we'll start here with the prelim headliner. Jack Hermansson coming back to take on Gregory Rodriguez. Jack Hermansson's been out of the cage for like a year. He's here to do his monthly, yearly fraud check, so he's here for his payment. Gregory Rodriguez last time out fought Jared Cannonier in an absolute war, ended up getting TKO'd by Cannonier, who is a vet. Now, if you were to tell me Jack Hermansson is 4 years older than Gregory Rodriguez, I'd probably spit in your face and call you Dumbledore, but he is. And I don't know, this fight's really interesting because Jack Hermansson comes back to fraud check people. He fraud checked Joe Pyfer, beat him 3 rounds to 2. Not really a fraud check, but it was a fraud check. Gregory Rodriguez has so much KO power. Would I say more KO power than Joe Pyfer? I really don't know. I think they're about on the same level. I do think Joe Pyfer is all around a better fighter, though. But Jack Hermansson's been out for a year. Will his ring rust be bad? I don't know. It never has been because he loves to take a year off. If he just stayed in the cage and was active, he could be a problem. I am going to lean Jack Hermansson. I don't think Gregory Rodriguez is all that good. Jack Hermansson, I don't think he'll get caught by anything too big. I think he'll be able to outlast the rounds against Gregory Rodriguez, who does slow down crazy amounts. Jack Hermansson can use his grappling. I'm going to go with Jack Hermansson by a 29-28 decision to get this one done. How confident am I in this? Like 47%. Moving on. Prelims, not the prelims. The main card should be a prelim. Peyton Talbot's back facing Felipe Lima. This is a banger of a matchup. I don't understand why it's on the main card of this pay-per-view, especially after Peyton coming off of his first loss to Hani Barcelos. A lot of people are picking Felipe Lima. He is the favorite. This matchup makes me really upset because it's a great matchup, but it's two prospects. We could be building these guys up. I thought they were going to give Peyton a can, but they did not. They did not. Felipe Lima is really good. He's 14-1. He's around the same age, 27. He's shorter, got less of a reach, but he's a monster in there. Good striking. I do think Peyton is better on the feet. Felipe Lima does have a decent grappling background. Do I think he's better than Hani Barcelos? I don't know. I don't think he is. We saw Hani Barcelos recently grapple and just control Cody Garbrandt, who was a former champion, although he might be like the worst champion we've ever had. Garbrandt isn't a nobody when it comes to grappling. He's been controlled by guys like Figueiredo and now Barcelos, who did get that advantage on him. So the fact Barcelos was able to dominate Peyton Talbot, I mean, is it the worst thing? I don't know. Felipe Lima, I don't know if he'll be able to do that to Peyton. And I gotta imagine Peyton's only been working on his grappling because, Jesus, it was bad. A lot of people are picking Felipe Lima. I've seen that online. I've seen he's the favorite. I'm going to be weird. I'm going to go Peyton. I still believe in him. Think he's very good. Think his striking's good. I do think both of these guys are slightly overrated. And I love Peyton Talbot, but I think he's slightly overrated. If Frank Ocean walks out with him, maybe he'll drop a new song, new album's coming out. I don't know. And Peyton we trust. I'm going to go third round TKO for Peyton Talbot after it goes like 1-1 in rounds going into the third. I think he's going to sting him, catch him, drop him, and get him with some TKO. Peyton Talbot's going to be back, and it's going to be like a statement performance. I think it's going to be like, oh, he's back. Let's see who we can fight next. So I'm going Peyton Talbot. I don't know if that's crazy. Moving up, we have two grandpas fighting for the first spot in the retirement home. Loser gets sent to the retirement home. Don't know how these guys are the same age. Beneil Dariush has been 47 since 2013, but he's facing Money Moicano. This fight was supposed to happen at 311. Of course, a bunch of shenanigans got pulled. Moicano ended up fighting Makhachev. He lost very easily in that fight, but I don't really count that on his win streak or like his record because it was so out of nowhere. It was frantic. He clearly wasn't ready for Makhachev. Beneil has been out for a minute. His last time in there was against Arman Tsarukyan where he got KO'd, and if you're getting KO'd by Arman, it's a little bit tough. Now, with that being said, I don't think Moicano is going to be able to KO Beneil. Beneil is a little bit better on the feet. He's also got some really good grappling. I think he's more powerful. This is a tough fight, and I could see this going either way. I believe in Money Moicano, though. I think he is on a streak. I think he has momentum, even though he lost to Makhachev. I don't know if he'll be questioning himself now that he lost to the champion and wondering, like, am I supposed to be here? I think he'll be able to bounce back. I'm going to go Moicano. I was going to go with him in their first fight, and I don't see how a loss to Makhachev will change that. Makhachev's the best fighter we've probably ever seen, debatably. So I'm going to go Renato Money Moicano by decision, 29-28. I think Dariush can win at least a round, but I'm going to give Moicano the other two. I think Dariush is going to be a little bit rusty going into this one, and it might be done for Dariush. And I like Beneil, but I think he's cooked. All right, my fight of the night. The fight I'm most excited. Actually, not most excited for it. We know what the main event is. This is going to be my fight of the night, though. I think this is going to be the best fight on this card. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. This was supposed to be Royval versus Manel Cap. Joshua Van just fought against Bruno Silva. TKO'd him, put on a masterclass. He's stepping in on very short notice to get this very big opportunity, and I am terrified for him because I love Joshua Van. I also really like Brandon Royval. This is not going to be a grappling match. These guys, I mean, we don't really know how good they are grappling. I think Royval's a pretty good grappler. His scrambles are excellent. Joshua Van has good takedown defense. We saw it against Ray Saruya, where he defended like 18 takedowns or something. Just schooled him. This is a tough fight. Very tough fight. I think they're going to be very boxing heavy. Brandon Royval uses kicks a little bit more than Joshua Van. This could be just a banger. I think this is going to be a banger. I think the fact Joshua Van is a favorite is absolutely crazy, by the way, because how? Like, he hasn't fought anyone nearly the level Brandon Royval has. Brandon Royval should so easily be the favorite in this one. I don't know. I think Joshua Van might be a little bit quicker. The striking is going to be pretty even, I think. And I think it's going to come down to a 2-round-1 victory, maybe a split decision. But I'm leaning Joshua Van. I am. I think this is his moment. I think he's going to step up. I think he's going to do it. His activity's been crazy. But I also could totally see a world where he gets shut out 3 rounds and just gets shown levels and shows that he needs a couple more years. I really could see that. So this isn't like a lock. I'm not very confident in any of these picks so far. The next matchup's the only one I'm pretty confident in. But this is more so I want Joshua Van to win rather than I think. But I do think he will. I don't know. Does that make sense? Moving on. Co-main event, Flyweight Championship, Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. Now, I am a Kai Kara-France hater. I hate when he sticks his tongue out. I hate the way that he walks, the way that he talks. Hate the way that he dressed. I even hate the way he says the word. Kai Kara-France has that one-shot knockout power at flyweight, which is a little bit crazy. These guys fought before, but it was so long ago that I don't really take a lot of it into consideration. I think Pantoja is on his way to becoming the flyweight GOAT, even up there with Demetrius Johnson. Like, it's debatable already, and I think if he gets a couple more wins, he could surpass him. Fighting guys like Kai Kara-France maybe won't do it. Kai's just kind of, annoying. You know, I even tried to give him a chance. I watched Demetrius Johnson's podcast, and man, this guy's just not interesting at all. I'm sorry, Kai. If I met you, I wouldn't say it to your little midget face, but I just think you're cooked in this one. I think Pantoja is going to be able to have a pretty close competitive round in the first, maybe the second, but within the first, second, or third rounds, I think Pantoja is going to be able to drop him, maybe get his back, lock in like a rear naked choke or a guillotine, something along those lines, and I think he's going to be able to submit Kai Kara-France. These guys are both midgets. I'm looking at their heights right now. Jesus Christ. But no one talks about the fact that Pantoja's 35, and there's like a 35-year-old curse in the lower divisions, and I think he's going to win, and I think it's going to be like, wow, he joins Volkanovski as the only guy to do that, so that's kind of insane. If he loses, Kai Kara-France is going to be the champion. Jesus. Okay, we're just going to move on. That would be crazy. But either way, the winner is going to lose to Joshua Van next time they defend, so that is what it is. Moving on to the main event. So, yeah, sorry. I got Alexander Pantoja, second or third round submission. Moving on to the main event. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Ilia's lightweight debut, vacant UFC title. Makhachev ran away. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Did he? Maybe not. Anyways, this is a crazy matchup. Ilia is moving up, and he's facing Charles the first time he's fought a real lightweight. Now, going into this match, before everything was happening, when he was going to fight like Makhachev, when he was calling for that before the Max fight even, I was like, I don't know. Lightweights hit way harder, you know? Like, lightweights are going to be able to take these punches. And going into this, you would think, oh, Oliveira's going to be able to take those punches. He's used to that power. He faces guys like Gaethje, Chandler, Poirier, all those guys. Topuria fought Max Holloway and slimed him. Okay, he put him out cold. The first guy to do it. Clearly, he hits hard. I don't care if Max was drained, weight cutting. I don't care. He still knocked him out. And I don't think Max is going to get knocked out by someone else. Like, I don't know if Poirier is going to be able to knock him out. I thought that fight was going to decision, Topuria versus Holloway. He didn't. He knocked him out within, 3 rounds? Maybe the 4th? I think it was the 3rd. Topuria is a different animal. Charles is chinny, but he kind of is okay with that. He said he's going to just grit down and march forward at Topuria, and I love that because that is his style. I think he needs to stay doing that to be effective. Charles is good on the feet. He's also got power of his own. Let's see how Ilia takes a shot at lightweight from someone like Charles Oliveira. Grappling is going to be very interesting. Oliveira, of course, is deadly. Some guys don't even challenge him to the ground, but Ilia, I know he's going to hop on him. I know he's going to chase him to the ground, try to land ground and pound. I don't think he's scared one bit. I think his ego's too big, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Ilya does look like the much shorter fighter going into this, like based on pictures I've seen. And his reach is very short, but that's usually how it goes for Ilya. He's usually the shorter guy with the shorter arms. I think he's going to be able to get in the pocket, and I think he's going to be able to put Charles down. I do, and Charles is one of my favorite fighters. I do love Ilya, though. I think Ilya is going to knock him out within 3 rounds as well, and it's going to be crazy, and we're going to have the questions, what would have happened if this was Makhachev? It is a shame we didn't get that matchup, but I'm also really excited for this one. If Charles wins, oh my god. The scenes. But yeah, that's my predictions. I do think Ilya is going to beat him. This card all around is actually pretty good. It's not good for a International Fight Week card. I think it underdelivered a little bit. We have guys like Peyton Talbot opening up the main card. That's a little bit disappointing, but fights are still great. I'm excited. I'll be watching. You'll be watching. We all know whether you're doing it legally or illegally. I've been gone for a little bit, doing a little hiatus, but I'm back because this card made me excited. And I'm going to try to upload more reactions, breakdowns, all that. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new around here, like, comment, subscribe. I'm Buddy King MMA, and I'll see you later. Peace.